That's great. That's great. I've actually got the book, Cryogenics, The Simple Secrets of Human Alchemy. You were so nice as to send it to me. I've read through most of it. I haven't got finished with it because, as you might know, I'm reading like 36 books at a time.
Yeah.
But there was something in this book that I wanted to ask you about, because a lot of people, even I think within the realms of what you do and the realms of what we talk about here on these radio shows, they're really, really interested in chakras. And you wrote towards the end of the book a section called The Secrets Behind Chakras, or The Secret Behind Chakras. And I remember speaking to Ronnie one night where she was telling me how chakras are something that she actually advises people to shut down. Why is that?
Because I'm glad you brought this up. This is awesome. Because the chakras are actually an imposed system to keep you from waking up to who you really are. The authentic system is a big core star in your chest, and then another energy center in your head, and then one down in your loins. And the three are like the authentic trinity. It's the heart and the mind and the creative source. And what I had found, I got rid of my chakras years ago after I and the story is on the website and in the book about how that all happened, with realizing that the chakras were an imposed system. And what they do is compartmentalize your body so that external energies can come in and have it all nice and compartmentalized for them so that they can suck your life force easier. If you have this huge core star, you're a lot less vulnerable to outside energies. And so I would just advise you to read that and then decide when and if you want to shut them down. People that have shut them down have said that they sleep better, they can think easier, that their whole life is just a whole lot easier. And that doesn't mean that you'll never have a problem. It does. You're still going to have problems, but it just makes it easier to deal with them. Well, then recently I found that I had these two plates. One of them was on my neck, and one of them was across my waist. And these plates were insulators that were keeping this energy from my core star, from my heart, from accessing the data into my head or the energies in my creative centers. So I pulled those suckers out and dissolved them, and then things started really moving a lot more easily and effortlessly, and accessing information in my head and my creative abilities skyrocketed after that. It was a lot easier. So I would advise you to go to the next level after you get rid of your chakras and get rid of the plates. Well, then there's something else, and that's the Kundalini snake. There's another part to that. Everybody talks about, oh, it's so wonderful, I had a Kundalini experience. Well, most of the people that have those said it felt like a near-death experience and that it was terrifying and it was horrible and it made them almost go crazy. Well, this Kundalini snake is something that can make you go crazy, and one of the things that it can do is when you are connecting to someone sexually, you can download all of your crap on them and not even know it through this snake.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
It can take tears from your head, and the snake can go up and down. It doesn't always go up to your head. It can go from your head and go straight down to your creative centers and take all of your tears and your your anxieties and your fears and download those onto your partner. Now, isn't that a nice present?
Oh,
well,
absolutely.
it's not only that, but then also from what I've found in people is that when they do this, when that has happened, if there is a child that's created, a lot of those things get imprinted into the child inside of the womb,
like gets
as
uploaded
well.
to them.
It just carries right on into them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly, and that is that's been going on for decades and decades, and it's time that we get wise and stop this.
You know what it reminds me
so,
of? The chakras actually remind me of, if you watch The Matrix, when Neo wakes up in those little, like they're like a tubular kind of a thing where the
the cocoons.
Yeah, the humans are being farmed, and he pulls all these plugs out of his body at these different locations. It just kind of reminds me of that, because when they plug him back into the Matrix, they plug it right into the head where the crown or the third eye chakra would be, but on the back of the head. That's what it reminds me of, at least.
That is so accurate, and it's funny how a lot of people brag. Well, I have 12 chakras above my body, and I have 72, and well, that just means that they've got a whole lot more to unplug from when they start taking these out.
Yeah, well, to me, the chakras, it's like I guess the way I would put it, how I think of it is that the chakras are self-placed limiters, basically. And if you if you don't have the chakras there, if you don't pay any attention to them, if you've shut them down, if you've gotten away from that system of thinking of things, you actually access a very purified, creative force. And it's when you touch it, it is so absolutely overwhelming. It is an amazing, wonderful experience. There is no fear to it. There is no terror to it. I've had a Kundalini experience before. I know exactly what you were talking about with that. It is scary as hell. Okay, but this other experience that I'm talking about here, I mean, when you walk away from it, you will for hours and hours just be sitting there thinking, "Oh my God, I am everything." What an amazing, joyful experience this life is. It impacts you so deeply, and you are forever changed by that experience.
Exactly. Because that's authentic. Everything about the Kundalini and the chakras is manipulated, and it's almost like digital. It's not organic, and it's not authentic.
And
yes.
we've been led to believe, again, going back to that deceiver, that trickster, that the chakras are something that in kind of this new age movement that I've really tried to distance myself from, because I get associated with it. I know, right? I mean, when I first got into this, I was like, oh, well, look, there's already people that think like this. And I realized, well, they're actually a little bit crazier than the other people on the other side of the spectrum. So
yeah.
It's just another one of those deceptions that we've been led to believe by the alternative of the alternative that these are good, and then we have evidence to show that perhaps they're not necessarily good, and that they're it's just another trick, Yeah.
It's the honeypot traps, basically.
Yeah.
They capture the ones that have tried to get away from the other system of thinking, the more dogmatic type of thinking, that physicality, I guess, thinking is what you could say.
It's the second net. Mike,
the second net, yeah.
Mike D, I wanted to bring you in because
it sounds like Avatar or Scientology. They